So after dealing with Angstrom, who also brought the Invincible War, in which Mark had to deal with other evil versions of himself from other universes, and then dealing with Conquest 2 on top of that at the end of last season, in which they nearly brought the entire city down in the midst of their fight. Invincible himself, Mark, is now in a dark time. He's in a dark time, and Adam Eve herself is having problems with herself. Her powers are malfunctioning. They're not working how they're supposed to. And Oliver himself is not growing up too. He is what now, a teenager. And so yeah, so the Guards of the Globe are going on about their usual routine, taking going after and taking down the usual villains. When the Sequids come up from the sewers, and you know they launch their invasion and an attempt to take over the planet, but then Cecil, being like the Nick Fury of the show, he contains the invasion in his big high tech dome, and the Guardians are called in, so it's Invincible, and yeah, so I gotta say, this reminded me of like when Hulk was going on about his rampage, and Nick Fury was giving orders to the Ultimates. So like yeah, that was pretty cool. And also Mark is killing too now. He's killing. So yeah. And yeah, so by the following episode, we follow Nolan and Alan the alien as they go on in space to accumulate weapons and whatnot in order to take on the upcoming Viltrumite invasion. And yeah, so they also end up recruiting this other character called Space Racer, and we see that Thetis, Viltrumite himself, he is also, he has this other more deadly and improved version of the Scourge virus that he's holding as like saving as like a last resort type of thing. And yeah, so by the following episode, the Flaxons invade, and the Guardians are called in, and Marcus too. Mark ends up getting he ends up taking a bit of a beating by aliens in robotic mech suits, and so then Robot and Monster Girl go through a portal, and they step on the Flaxons' territory, and they destroy the emitter, and they end up trapped on the other side. So by the end of the third episode, we see that Adam Eve, as I suspected, she turned out to be pregnant, as why her powers were malfunctioning. So this is let's just see how it goes. Even though it's pretty good so far.